So we're here celebrating Women's History Month, and tomorrow or Friday is International Women's Day.
Hmm.
So let's talk about pool from the women's perspective, and it's you've got a really great perspective on this because
Hmm.
you came up in snooker, which the disparity between the men and women in the UK in professional
Mm,
snooker
mm.
is bigger than
Oh wow,
anywhere.
yeah.
Tell me what that was like.
Well, from a child, let's say from being a child playing snooker in my local pub
Right?
with one table, and I played with the guys from the age of about 12, 13 years old. I didn't think about gender. I wasn't thinking. I was a kid playing snooker. And then one day I looked in the newspaper, I was 14, and I saw women's snooker world championships. I thought, oh, women have their own tournaments. It didn't
Yeah.
even occur to me before that. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
I played in league, and that was a big deal because in league pool there were certain pubs that didn't allow me to go play
Really?
because I was female, not because I was a child, but because I was female. So that was not
What did you
nice.
think about when the first time you heard that you couldn't play in a
That's
pub because
ridiculous.
it was because you were a female?
Yeah, and my mum or whatever couldn't come in to watch even if I could. So it was just ridiculous. It was like it was very much male dominated chauvinistic world that I grew up in.
Yeah. So snooker, you won all the world championships, but snooker as a women's sport was never growing.
I couldn't see the future.
And you know what turned out amazingly well for you is that you at that time the Women's Professional Billiard Association was really starting to get rolling with the classic tour. A lot of sponsorship, TV time, things like that, and that gave you an opportunity that you probably never thought you would have to uh, make the next level in cue sports, make a living out of a level in cue sport. You know, if the women's classic tour was not around then, how different would your life have been?
It's so interesting. I never thought about it not being around until you said that today. I got a one-way ticket to America, and I was like, on the plane, what am I doing? I've got a suitcase and a queue, and that's it. Literally, I didn't know what I was doing. Bit of debt in England. I came out, with some debt, and I was like, well, I can always turn back, but
Yeah,
might not be able to go forward again. So as soon as I got off the plane, walked into that club in Charlotte, North Carolina, Mother's Billiard
mothers.
Parlour
Yeah,
for my very first tournament, I felt at home straight away. I
yeah.
knew it as soon as I walked in and played the event. And in the event, I finished ninth, and I won the equivalent or more than I would have winning a tournament in England. So I was like, I was over the
Yeah.
moon.
What did the other women that you met over here, Ava, Lori John, Jeanette, what did you learn from them about being a woman player in the U.S.? Was it different than
Very
UK? Was it
First of all, I want to say that they welcomed me with open arms. That was really important because obviously I was a world traveller, I was a champion in my neck of the woods,
right?
but they really opened their arms and hearts up to me. They didn't, there was not negativity
Right.
per se, and I think that is
That helps
part
a
of
lot.
it.
Yeah.
It helps your journey, living
Comfort level.
somewhere, coming to another country, you're on your own,
Yeah.
so it made a world of difference because I'd met some of them before too. So that really helped. And the professionalism, the camaraderie among them was really impressive.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason I felt at home. I felt almost instantly accepted here, whereas in England I wasn't as close with the people there, funnily
Yeah.
enough.
Was it a camaraderie that was pool player camaraderie? Was it camaraderie as women pool players?
Both, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think could differentiate. I could see the friendships of Laurie, John, Robin, Ava, and all these players. And obviously, you're going to gravitate to certain
Sure.
personalities. That's life. That's just what you do.
Right.
But I could see the fun and the genuineness between them
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were all winners at the time.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I
Champions.
mean,
Yeah.
Laurie John was obviously probably a little more of an edge, dominating wise. I think
Right.
consistency
Right.
wise. But they all won tournaments,
Right.
so that's probably why there was a lot more camaraderie too.
When you think back on it, what women inspired you in your youth and even later in life, whether it was on the table or off the table?
Well, I didn't have female in my sport, it was more the men. It was
Right.
like Steve Davis.
Right.
I sort of emulated, if you like. He was my favourite player in snooker because we
Right.
didn't see women snooker
Right.
players on TV, so I didn't have anyone to aspire to there. There were other female athletes that I met along the way, and back in the day, Sally Gunnell was a runner, an Olympic runner that I met, and she won a gold medal in the Olympics.
What did you
Um,
learn from meeting people like that? How were you
Everyone's down.
inspired by
Do you
them?
know? At the end of the day, everyone's down to earth. We're all in the same boat, really, living life,
Right.
trying to do our best. And so I love that about a lot of these athletes. They're not snooty or,
Yeah.
I'm better than you. But you have to have a killer instinct too, don't you?
Yeah.
And I think coming over here, one of the people with a real killer instinct was Jeanette, wasn't it,
Yeah. It sure
really?
was. Yeah.
She would do anything, you know? Do you know what I mean? But that's
Yeah.
impressive because that makes you work harder.
Yeah.
And if somebody is doing something in the sport that isn't being done by other people, they're standing out.
Yeah. Sure.
And not only that, if one does well, everyone does well in a way. You have to look at
Yeah.
it from that perspective.
Yeah.
It raises everyone up.
Right.
And you have to look at things logically like that, I think.
Role models. Who were your women role models? Who are your women role models
My
now?
mother
Yeah.
has always been a role model to me. She's feisty, she's
She
positive.
is.
Any word that comes out of her mouth is positive. I get comfort. Now she lives with me. I see her every day. But
Are the
I
comments all still
always,
positive?
yeah, of course. We've had fun though. We're like best friends.
Yeah.
But listening to her voice always
Soothing
lifted
effect,
me. It was
calming
very
effect.
soothing, always positive. So when I was here, she was there. That was, obviously I missed her, but I have a lot of her character and I'm proud that I do. Her personality and her confidence, her outlook on life has
Yeah.
always been wonderful. So she would be my biggest role model.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
What do you tell younger female players, women players, young girls who are playing? What do you tell them about, uh, you know, taking on this sport?
Well, anything that you want to do well at, it takes persistence, and that creates consistency. It's repetition. You're constantly working on your physical presence at the table, how you come into a shot. There's lots of parts to the game, and you have to master each part.
Right.
And so you've got to work on consistency, and it's pretty ugly sometimes. It's hard. Practice is hard, but that's what creates a character and creates the I'm not going to fail attitude. If you want something enough, you'll get it if
Yeah.
you put in the effort.
Right.
And all these players here, you can see, obviously with the digital age now, and you can go on social media, you can see the effort they're putting in.
Yeah.
Whether it be the travelling around, going in tournaments,
Or the
whether it be
practice
their
sessions
social
and
media, inspiring other people to play. Juniors, you've got to work at it. And I love the junior game right now. There's some great junior players.
It's really more organized and
Exactly.
at a higher level
And I
because
like
of that.
that in America, they're putting the effort in now to the juniors to create events because it's not easy. And thankfully, the parents supporting their kids, looking at it as a respectable sport now, not just that image that it once had. So, with these young players in the sport, whether they're men, women, kids, there's something to look up to.
And how do you view yourself as there's a lot of young girls coming up playing who view you as a role model, you as a hero. What kind of responsibility comes with that?
I think it's important to always exude good sportsmanship at the table, on and off the table. Shake the hands with the fans and smile with them. Sometimes it's not easy to do if you've just lost or
Yeah,
whatever.
sure.
But it's important because they're the people that idolise and look up to you and support you, and they'll support the people coming up through the rankings. It's important to enjoy the whole process because one day we won't be doing
Yeah,
it anymore.
yeah.
And we'll look back and think, wow, that was something special
Really
when it
was.
was happening. So I always appreciate it. It gives me little tingles now thinking about it. Because there come an end one day,
Yeah.
and you'll think how lucky I was
Yeah.
to be doing it, be part of something really big.
Yeah.
And to me, I just want to say this: I've been involved in Q Sports for 40 odd years, plus years, and I don't regret anything that I've done in it because it's been. You grow up as a team and a family. Like I've known you for years,
yeah.
and you know what it is. It's a family. You go
It
through
is.
life together. You go through highs and lows,
Yeah.
and and you can have a laugh. You can share life events. I've got kids now. My life's changed,
Yeah.
and been a wonderful
It's an
experience all
incredible
round.
community.
It really is a
Yeah.
community, and I would not change a thing that I've done in my life. Never.
I'm glad.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Allison Fisher, happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for doing this.